our esteemed colleagues in the electric power industry, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers and sponsors of this conference and to Therapin for giving us the opportunity to make this presentation on the developments in renewable energy and alternative energy in the Philippines. I'll be making this presentation in behalf of our NAPOCOR President and CEO, Maria Gladys Santa Rita, who have to attend to pressing budget calls for our corporation. In particular, I'll be discussing the Renewable Energy Program in the Philippines, the law promulgated by our government to accelerate the Philippine Renewable Energy Program, its implementation and status, as well as the future direction of the said Renewable Energy Program. The Renewable Energy Program includes technologies under the acronym BIGSIO, which stands for biomass or biofuel, geothermal, solar power, hydropower, ocean, and wind power. By way of background, small-scale hydro development in the Philippines started in 1900 for both electricity generation and now non-power application in rural communities. But the big leap in the development of our hydro resources was initiated by the National Power Corporation with the construction of the Caliraya hydroelectric plant. However, it was only in the 1990s that mini hydro development and large hydro project was opened to private sector under the BOT scheme. To diversify its sources of energy, the government embarked on studies and inventory for harnessing geothermal power in 1952 to 1960 through the Philippine National Oil Company and National Power Corporation. However, the first commercial geothermal plant was commissioned in Negros Island by NPC and PNOC on July 1977. By the end of 1983, the total installed geothermal capacity has reached 896 megawatts. Thereafter, like hydro, geothermal development was open to private sector participation. Solar photovoltaic system was introduced in the country for rural electrification in the late 1980s through Executive Orders 462 and 232. The involvement of private sector on solar, wind, and ocean energy development was allowed in mid-90s. Based on industry assessment, the slow response by private sector in putting up renewable energy resources is due to high upfront and technology costs, non-competitiveness, non-viable market, inaccessible financial packages, and social acceptability. To address these challenges and barriers, the Philippine government promulgated landmark laws to help accelerate the development of its renewable energy resources. The two landmark laws that were passed by Congress are the Biofuel Act of 2006 and Renewable Energy Act of 2008. In the Biofuel Act, under Republic Act number 9367, 1% minimum biodiesel blend to diesel fuel within 3 months from the effectivity of the Act, and minimum of 2% blend 2 years thereafter, starting 6 February 2009, and 5% initial minimum bioethanol blend to gasoline commencing February 6, 2009, and 10% minimum blend 2 years thereafter was mandated. In support of the Biofuel Act, the Philippines needs a minimum of 160 million liters of cocoa methyl ester, or CME, for blending with local demand for diesel in 2014 from coconut oil. To cover this requirement, 9 producers with an aggregate annual capacity of 392 million liters have been accredited by the Department of Energy. Similarly, Our country needs a minimum of 536 million liters of ethanol for blending with local demand for gasoline in 2014. That is from sugarcane and molasses. Right now, the required capacity for ethanol is still short, given that only 6 producers have been accredited. The balance is being imported from other countries. The Biofuel Act was followed later by the Renewable Energy Act under Republic Act 9513 in December 2008. The Act aims to increase renewable energy-based capacity by 100%, an increase in non-power contribution of RE to the energy mix by 10 million barrel of fuel oil equivalent in the next 10 years. That is from 2009 to 2020. Under the RE Act, it is the policy of the state to accelerate the exploration and development of renewable energy to achieve energy self-reliance, reduce countries' dependence on fossil fuel, and minimize countries' exposure to price fluctuation. Likewise, the Act seeks to promote increased renewable energy utilization by providing fiscal and non-fiscal incentive to RE developers and manufacturers. The fiscal incentives are income tax holiday, reduced government share, duty-free importation, tax credit, special realty tax rate, true cost of generation, exemption from universal charge, payment of transmission charge based on average at the discretion of the proponent, and tax exemption on carbon credit. The non-fiscal incentives are the mandate supply and distribution sector to provide guaranteed market for renewable energy generation, institutionalize the priority dispatch of renewable energy, fix feed-in tariff rates allowed, provide mechanism for guaranteed payment of renewable energy generation, and cash incentive for renewable energy. Also, to establish the necessary infrastructure and mechanism to carry out the mandates, the Renewable Energy Management Bureau under the Department of Energy was established. It is the Department of Energy's lead unit in the implementation of the Act and was operationalized on July 14, 2009. The law also creates the National Renewable Energy Board, which also creates subcommittees for the formation of mechanism for RPS or Renewable Portfolio Standard on both on-grid and off-grid areas. Especially, on-grid means those that are connected to the main grid of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The off-grids are those that are not connected. Then feed-in tariff, net metering, green energy option, renewable energy trust fund, cash incentive mechanism for off-grid. Lastly, the creation of the National Biofuel Board that formulated the National Biofuel Program and promulgated the Joint Administrative Order providing guidelines for the production, transportation, storage, and handling of biofuels in the country. One of the essential policy mechanisms to implement the Act is the Renewable Portfolio Standard for on-grids. It aims to contribute to renewable energy growth by energy diversification, social development, and harmful emission reduction. The draft policy has already undergone consultation in 2010 and 2011, and it is now under the Department of Energy for review. The feed-in tariff policy assures RE proponents of fixed tariff for their RE generation. Aside from being guaranteed such fixed payment, the policy further provides priority connection to the grid, priority purchase by participant, priority access to transmission grid, and payment by participant on RE generation. Likewise, the minimum contract term of 12 years is mandated. The PID in tariff rule was promulgated by the Energy Regulatory Commission on July 12, 2010 and took effect last August 12, 2010. It is now the National Renewable Energy Board filed this comment last May 16, 2011, but the rate was approved on July 27, 2012 by the Energy Regulatory Commission. Here are the PID-in tariff rates originally proposed by National Renewable Energy Board and the final rates approved by ERC. Please note, the approval for hydro is 14 US cents per kilowatt hour, biomass is 15 US cent, wind is 19 US cent, and solar 22 US cents per kilowatt hour. There is also a proposal to raise the level of solar from 50 to 500 megawatt. On the other hand, the guidelines for the selection of PID eligible RE project was already issued last May 28, 2013 and took effect on June 2013. This will also hopefully accelerate the processing of RE projects submitted to DOE for issuance of service contract and subsequent nomination, conversion, including declaration, confirmation of commerciality. The net metering rules for the main grids were already approved by ERC last May 27, 2013. As a result, major distribution utilities and electric cooperatives already started acceptance of application for net metering arrangement. The draft renewable portfolio standard for off-grids has been submitted to National Renewable Energy Board on September 2012 and endorsed to DOE last March 20, 2013. However, the technical working group for off-grid is finalizing the same, considering DOE's comments on the renewable portfolio standards for on-grids. Considering the renewable energy programs and policy directions so far implemented, the share of renewable energy of the Philippines, based on the British Petroleum Statistical Review of World Energy in 2011, already account to 40.4% of total energy consumption. This slide more or less shows how the Philippines compared to selected Asian and European nation countries on renewable energy. In terms of power generation mix in 2012, the renewable energy shares correspond to 15% hydro, 14% geothermal, 0.2% biomass, and 1% wind, while the non-RE share consists of 27.1% natural gas, 4.9% oil-based, and 38.6% coal. This is equivalent to 57.5% self-sufficiency and 56.4% green energy rating. As of January 2014, the total renewable energy installed capacity of the Philippines is 2,305.69 megawatts. Likewise, there are 500 projects already awarded with service contract by DOE with total potential capacity of 7,905.88 megawatts. Further, there are 19 companies that have pending biofuel registration and accreditation to support the biodiesel and bioethanol targets of the government. Based on PID Monitoring Board, of the 500 projects with DOE-issued service contract, 43 projects are on nomination conversion stage, and 44 projects have already obtained certificates of confirmation of commerciality. Please note that projects in the nomination or conversion stage are those that have passed pre-development stage and now under development stage. On the other hand, projects with certificate of confirmation of commerciality are those that have financing closure, completed feasibility studies, confirmed capacity determination, and have already started construction. In addition, there is a total of 132 projects with total potential capacity of 1,663 megawatt already submitted to the Department of Energy for review and issuance of service contract. On the other hand, there are 9 existing renewable energy plants in missionary areas or SPAG areas with a total installed capacity of 11.15 megawatt as of 2014. There are 2 ongoing renewable energy projects, which include wind farm project and hydro plant project, both in Oriental Mindoro. Based on the hydropower resource inventory survey conducted by JICA, there are 1,413 potential sites for hydro development in the country, with a total potential capacity of 20,599 megawatts. On the other hand, USAID conducted a biomass resource inventory and identified a total of 4,446 megawatt capacity. Recent assessment likewise established prospective renewable energy resources in missionary areas. The capacity of these prospective renewable energy resources is 92.5 megawatt hydro, 40 megawatt geothermal, 1.5 megawatt biomass, 56 megawatt wind, and 11 megawatt solar. Moving forward, we can say that the Philippines is embarking on an ambitious renewable energy program. It targets to increase RE-based capacity by 200% within the next 20 years from 2011 and increase non-power contribution of renewable energy to the energy mix by 10 million barrels of fuel oil equivalent in the next 10 years by additional 1,495 megawatt of geothermal energy, up to 2,300 megawatt to 2,345 megawatt of wind energy, doubling hydro capacity by additional 5,400 megawatt, and expanding contribution of biomass to 77 megawatt, solar 350 megawatt, and ocean energy 70 megawatt. For the Philippines to meet its renewable energy installation target, it will be implementing the following strategies: regular review, update, and pursue peak rates adjustment as necessary, aggressively implement the net metering system, finalize and approve guidelines on other renewable policy mechanism, establish an energy investment coordinating center with linkages with other government regulatory agencies, continue our resource inventory and establishment of renewable energy database, implement capacity building, information, education, and communication campaign, pursue investment, mission, business meeting related to renewable technologies and best practices. Incidentally, all of this will have to be implemented through the private sector because the Philippine electricity industry has been privatized. In closing, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite renewable energy developers to come and invest in the Philippines. Being a country of 7,100 plus islands, hope you will find opportunities there. Mabuhay tayong lahat, and thank you very much.